are here today to announce that the Justice Department has secured felony guilty pleas from the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance.
Actually, it's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Largest virtual.
Binance.
Binance. And let me be clear. It's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1,300,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, because we have to talk about the tariffs. The tariffs came in worse than expected, and they affected the market big time. Bitcoin crashed all the way from 89,000 back to 83,000, and the tariffs are everywhere and on everyone, and let's see what this means. So make sure to stay all the way through, as we are mainly looking at this situation and at some bullish news for Bitcoin, as the only thing that matters right now is that Bitcoin recovers. So let's check this out. So, good morning, each and every one of you, especially my rare hodlers. Thank you to my rare hodlers here all around me for always supporting me and staying true to this cause. So thank you for that, really appreciate it. Even though in times when there were weeks where I could only stream one time and maybe upload one video. For all others, thank you for smashing up the like button all the time. That also helps a lot. If you are new to this channel, consider subscribing if you like the information here. Also, if you see this later, notifications on so you never miss out. That is that. So let's see the chat here. A couple of people are already here. Trucking Hank, as always. I honestly don't think that I've ever seen a live stream in the last year or so where not the first GM was from Trucking Hank. Also, Jasper Frank, hey, what's going on? And G Money, good morning to you, bringing the coffee here. Let's have a deep sip of coffee and jump right into the action. So first of all, how does Bitcoin look, right? How does it look today? Well, we got sold off pretty bad this week. We see this long wick here, but just a good thing. Right after it, a slight uptrend here remains. That is already good, right? So it seems that we are forming the bottom. We could come back here, right? But it seems that we are forming a bottom on top of this, which is looking good. If we're looking in the shorter term, what yesterday happened was basically this year. We pushed up all the way to 88,400, and then boom. We got basically the tariffs and announcements, and that it is worse than expected, right? So that basically happened, but it's not over yet. So there's more coming, right? So we have today this ISM is in about 8.5 hours, and then tomorrow we have the Fed Chair Powell speech, unemployment rate, and the non-farm payrolls doesn't matter that much. Right, so that is all coming. So there's more volatility, and with the tariffs just being announced right now, this will obviously influence also the actions of Jerome Powell. And we are coming to why this is happening, right? Why this is happening in this way right now, right? Hey Patrick, good to see you as well. Tomorrow is the line. It's the time to buy. Sorry, I misread that. Tomorrow is the time to buy. Okay, why not today? Maybe tomorrow the market crashes more. Is that what you're anticipating? That could be, right? So let's look at the point blank at the news here. and also on how the markets are looking. Pre-market, Europe in the red. Europe will open in half an hour. Asia deep in the red, got completely shocked. We will see in a second why. Here pre-markets, big red, 2% for the US as well. So probably the US going to open up in the red. So what do we see here? Trump tariff shocks the US trade partners, sending Asian markets lower. More than 180 countries and territories facing reciprocal tariffs, as we see here. Asia Pacific markets slide after this announcement. European markets head for dramatic declines at the open as traders assess new Trump tariffs. So we have 25% on cars, we have 10% overall on goods. Also the Dow futures tumble over 800 points on fear that the tariffs will spark a trade war. Of course, there will be countries that will try to retaliate. Other countries, like I think Canada, already offered to drop the tariffs if the US drops the tariffs and so on. So overall, could this spiral into a trade war? It could, but let's see what's playing out here for the entire market, right? So let's look at the tariffs. In case you haven't seen them yet, they have been published. We're not going to look at all 180 countries, but there are a couple of interesting ones, right? So, for example, here, tariffs charged to basically US discounted reciprocal tariff. That is basically the important part here. 34% on China. I think overall, with the tariffs that already have been in place, it's over 50% for China, and also here Taiwan is interesting, right? 32%. So if you're considering a good manufactured that comprises of a PCB, of a board, of a main board and some chips in it, right, and then maybe some batteries and so on, this is going to affect it quite a bit, right? Because all the stuff is either produced in Taiwan or in China, right? Maybe some in Vietnam and stuff like that, right? But so all these things that these pieces, they are imported from China, from Taiwan, and then assembled in other countries, right? And so that would directly increase the bill of material of these products quite a bit, right? So very interesting here. China, together with the others, is taking a huge hit, and we will see how they are going to answer. Also, European Union, 20% on top, right? So of course, here we have the official opinion of what the tariffs are that the other side charges towards the USA. And if you see that, they could say, okay, but then it's just fair, right? For example, here we have tariffs charged to the US, including currency manipulation and trade barriers. European Union, for example, 39%, China 67%, and here's the reciprocal, right? Plus old tariffs to be added on top. It's very interesting, right? Because then you see, okay, 20% to the US. Like, why do we have 39% in the EU? I can only assume where this is coming from, but of course there are trade barriers, right? Especially for US goods. And I think there's so for everyone in the US, just to understand, right? There is some things where the trade barrier is absolutely justified because the product is just not up to the standards. For example, some of the sweets, it'll just take sweets, right? Some of the sweets in the US are using a red dye that is carcinogenic and is forbidden in 60 other countries, not forbidden in the US. You can't allow the import of this product, right? Because it just doesn't fill the standard. Also, in the US, many products, they can be released on the market until someone says that this and that component is not good and can prove that it shouldn't be on the market, right? In the EU, it works the other way around. In the EU, you have to prove that your product isn't harming anyone, and you have to do all the certificates and all the testing and so on. You have to prove that your product is good, and then you can release it on the market, right? So already that does not allow every product to hit the market, right? So there are a couple of things to consider here. But anyways, I digress. Let's see the chat. Chat's going. Chat has already taken in some coffee and is off to the discussion. Time to buy. I hear this for the last 3 years. No more money to buy, and everything is red. That is true, especially for altcoins, but it's not true for Bitcoin. I mean, you heard to buy the last 3 years. Well, let me show this to you in Bitcoin, right? So 3 years ago to now on Bitcoin is a net 438% return from the absolute bottom. So hearing that for the last has been correct until January 25, where there was the local high, right? So if you heard this here, it was correct. If you heard this here, it was correct. If you heard it here, it was correct. And if you heard it here, it was also correct, right? With obviously diminishing returns to the upside, right? But we can't forget that Bitcoin is up 5x where we are right now and has been up 6x at this all-time high. Is another story for the altcoins, okay? But we can't forget that buying over the last 3 years still is a net positive from that point. I don't really want to say your name because your name leads people to say things they shouldn't say. Or can I call actually I can, right? I know what it is, but I'm going to call you Chicken. Okay, Chicken. Chicken says, because I have inside information, 4th of April, buy sell on the 8th of April, it's gone down. By 16th of April, and after 16th, the biggest bull run happens until August. Holy shit. Okay, let's see if we have the Chicken Oracle here. But yeah, after that, we will get a rooster, okay? Because I was thinking I have to call you cock. That would not be good, right? Anyways, okay, rooster. Rooster says... after that, we will get the biggest crash ever. Bitcoin will go down to around 30k. Okay, but until then, we will have exited our trade positions, and we will see if Bitcoin can. I don't think Bitcoin will ever go back to 30,000, even with a mega huge crash. I don't think so. Bernard Donaldson says, "Morning, PH. That looks dead now. From Manchester, UK. Appreciate the ongoing content." Liked, thank you very much. That is very true, and it looks as dead as all the other altcoins. However, it doesn't matter until we go into whenever altcoin season happens, which I personally think it will happen. However, you have to take your own decision, of course, if you want to abandon or not abandon is a bad word. Like, if you want to reduce your exposure, that's obviously a reason. Like, reasonable, depending on your circumstance. Many people are tight on money, they have over-invested, now they are reducing their exposure, which makes sense if you're in financial trouble in your real life. That's why this needs to be house money that is in crypto, which either can make you big, especially in altcoins, right? Which either can give you big returns, or you could lose it all. That was maybe not clear from the beginning for all people in the market, but it becomes relatively clear quickly, right, that this might be the case. So we will see. Patrick says, you're right. I haven't Bitcoin, only altcoin mistake from the past. Absolutely, and I'm not here to blame anyone for that, because for many people, especially with less money, altcoins were the attempt to go to get the multiples that you need to have let's say the financials that you dream to have. Like, for many people, the altcoins were this. It might come still within this year, it might take longer, we don't know. It might be that some of these altcoins never recover. I think Bitcoin is going to lead the way first, hopefully with a bounce here. We don't know that, right? But I think so, based on the factors that I laid out last time, right? By the way, good morning also to Green Lantern. Safe driving, and have a great day. We will come back end of the month. Screenshot what I said after 16th of April. Don't forget what I said. Actually, we're not going to forget this. Because we have a tradition here to put some of the predictions down into this. So I'm going to do this right now, and not for blaming anyone or so, but for keeping track of what has been predicted, so that we can come back and say, hey, at this time some people thought this, right? So let's do this here. Rooster says 4th of April buys. Okay, so basically what we're going to take note is 16th of April, the biggest bull run happens until August. 16th of April, the biggest bull run happens until August. Okay, so that's the prediction of Rooster, which we want to have a little bit smaller. No, that's too small. 12 is good. Okay, there we go. We also have the old health wealth gurus. He didn't show up anymore. Here from September, from these levels, when health wealth gurus predicted that we are going to see prices worse than 2022 bear market, which I don't know, man. I was not so correct, right? You are now part of the history here. We have also other predictions in other charts. So that is that. Guys, likes are free, so hit the like button. These guys give us content every time. Absolutely. Thank you very much for that. That would be great. Doing this on the side, right? So, yo, chicken, I hope you're right. Man, Rooster. I think everyone prays for Rooster being right now. We also have Stu, obviously, on the gold chart here. Also, just so you know, with the where is it here, with the 8,000 prediction from the 2nd of September, 2024, and so far he is on a good trajectory. I mean, gold is at 3,133. It has already hit 3,200 last night, I think. So he's on a good course here for gold, and gold pumping is always nice to see for us, right? But back to the tariffs. Okay, so tariffs. So we see that here all across the board. I mean, 46 in Vietnam is pretty heavy, but also Vietnam. Look at what Vietnam has on the US. I mean, what the heck is going on, right? So then Taiwan and Japan is going to hit 24% plus 25% for car manufacturers, right? Which is the Toyota. Toyota is going to be hit really hard by this. Then we have, then we have India, South Korea, Thailand, Switzerland. Wow, that chocolate's going to be very expensive, right? Anyways, so this is also something. You have things like semiconductor, whatever industry, where you can say, okay, we build factories, we build it ourselves. But you also have goods that you can not build yourself, right? So, for example, German beer, right? You can produce beer, but you cannot produce German beer, right? Switzerland chocolate, right? You can produce chocolate, but no one produces chocolate like Switzerland, right? So these are goods that you have to import, right? It's like democracy, right? No one produces democracy just like the US. It brings them to you, right? So put tariff on that. Just kidding. But we have some of these things obviously being affected that you just can't replicate in your own economy, right? But then again, it's a choice. Like, do I buy US chocolate or do I buy the more expensive Swiss chocolate, right? Or maybe you could exempt the chocolate from the tariff. Um, Rooster says, I have inside info, trust me. Trust me, bro, is always a very, where you have to be very careful. For example, former US President Biden, inflation is transitory. Trust me, bro. By the way, Brazil and UK, like these are the only ones where you basically have a 10% for 10%, right? So where you have basically equal, they can just go ahead and say, hey, look, Mr. Trumpo, can we just agree on instead of 10-10, do 0-0? Which is basically the ultimate goal, right? So then this would then benefit both sides, right? If they just go 0-0, right? Actually, I don't know if it does because the trade balance is not the same. So what you import doesn't mean like what both sides import is not equal. Let's put it that way, right? Everybody. So let's see here from Rooster again. I like when people are confident like this, and when they are right, it's even cooler, right? Many people are liquidated. Tomorrow I will buy. Okay, so tomorrow. Why tomorrow? Like, are we going down to from today to tomorrow because of the Fed Chair Powell's speech? Is that the trigger to buy? The algorithm end of April, I would say, where I got the info from. Oh, nice. Okay, so that's good. Like revealing where the info comes from. I will share everyone here where I got it from. Okay. Thank you very much. Let's do that. We will remember that. So now I'm also obliged to stream a lot so that he has the chance to share this. But really good. Thank you for that, Rooster. We will see how it plays out. So on like there are more pages of this. Look at this, right? There's like Algeria, Oman, Lesotho, Bahamas, doesn't matter, right? What the fuck? Like Lesotho, okay, 50%. Yeah. So let's see if Trump is pushing the right buttons here for the U.S. And I mean the interest is for the U.S., right? He's not he's looking after the interest for the U.S. So let's see. By the way, I did not see Germany. Let's see Germany quickly. Do we have it's European Union in general, right? So there's no specific for Germany. Okay, got it. Okay, so here's the why, or a theory about the why, right? So the US has 7 trillion debt maturity coming in 2025, and Trump and Bessent are intentionally crashing the stock market via tariffs to get the bond yields down, okay? Which is working, right, as we can see here. And it will force the Fed to cut rates and ramp up the money printer. So it's going according to plan. Let's see if it is actually going to go according to plan, but it could be part of the game, right? I don't know if the tariffs are only for that, because there is something with that when the US had all the tariffs in place, basically had no debt and so on, like had more money that they could do anything with, right? In 1913 or so. It's very known that Trump is a big defender of this strategy, so it makes sense that he wants to go back to a situation like that, right? So maybe it's part of the play, or it plays anyways into this card. But it could be one of the reasons. But the 7 trillion debt maturity that needs to be refinanced, right, also means you have to have 7 trillion US dollar need to hit the market or roll over into new debt, right, partially. So that money needs to come from something, yeah? And if it doesn't come from GDP growth, then where will it come from, right? That's the question. Okay. Also, what we just looked at, gold versus Bitcoin, right? So mega discrepancy. Gold is still on the rise. We are looking at this almost every day, so I'm not going to go deeper into this. You guys know what this means based on this correlation that we're seeing right now and what you've seen here, right? trickling down a little bit more, and boom, right? So yeah, it might be actually what and where Rooster says. We will see, right? I'm not going to nail this down to the day, but I think it will come in the next couple of weeks. Some FUD that reminds of the bear market, which is this year, FDUSD, 7.8 billion volume, DPEGs, right? And struggling to get back to the peg, 0.97 DPEG, big DPEG here in a shorter term. It's already close to back, but it's not back yet in that sense, not fully back. You see it here, right? The DPEG. We remember the cascade of depegging stablecoins and the respective crash of projects like Terra Luna, which was clearly an attack. But yeah, this reminds of bear markets, not good. You see also here like the fundamentals on this first digital USD. $2.4 billion have been in this. The volume is up 50%, of course, because people try to get their stuff out, right? Well, yeah. Let's see Stu. Stu says, interesting to see Elon goes back behind the curtain on May 30. Doge done. Yeah, maybe I don't know exactly if the investigations will continue. I think so. I just think that he's stepping a little bit back, but because he's being attacked big time, right? So this is a hey Troy, what's going on? Good morning to you, right? Good to see you. Awesome to see all of the rare hodlers being around here and discussing these topics. Very interesting discussions, guys. Rooster says at the end, I want that the normal person to win. Yeah, that's what we all want, right? Also being normal person. I mean, I don't know if we're all normal in the head, but to be in crypto, but yeah. But people must understand that you don't act on emotion, please. You will learn when you lose. Big corps and exchange never want you to win. Yeah, exactly. Of course, we want to win. Of course, all. It's still PvP, right? But you're right. Let's not act on emotion, and you can act less emotional if you are not invested with everything and not invested only in the most volatile stuff, right? So then of course it's easier to act more unemotional, right? So for example, for me, there were phases where was just no money spare to invest in crypto, and I didn't, right? I just didn't take money from somewhere to invest it in crypto in these phases, and sometimes it was a really good time to buy, but I just couldn't do it, right? So I think this is one of the most important learnings that Russo also highlights here. Investigation continues, but Elon back out of the light. Yeah, of course, because otherwise, like the whole attack shit show on Tesla and so on will not stop, right? So him stepping back a little bit probably good for his business and so on. Good thing is that his rockets are not affected by that, right? So Bitcoin quarterly transaction volume is very, very high, almost as high as never. Only 2024 quarter 4, 4.7 trillion back to back with 5.5 trillion. So the adoption is there for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is being used. Very, very bullish statistics, I would say. So this is really nice. Also, in Japan, another company is moving in this, raising 100 million yen. I always confuse yen yuan, but I think it's yen, Japanese yen and Chinese yuan, right? This is the correct order. 100 million worth of Bitcoin in this currency, right? So obviously that's way less than 100 million US dollars, but nonetheless, this Inish company, they are securing that, right? So it's a strategic move here to act a little bit like MetaPlanet, like GameStop, like MicroStrategy and so on. But there are more and more companies that are going to do that. Oh yeah. By the way, Rooster, if you Trucking Hank is doing here the work. We have a Telegram group where all the rare hodlers are in, rare hodler tier. Obviously, you are free to subscribe. You're free to stay around like you are right now. But if you want to join the Telegram group, or anyone else here, join the Telegram group where I think it's around 30 rare hodlers are in there. I think 27 are in there, but we have 32. So feel free to join for the discussions. Also, another breaking news here: PayPal expands their crypto offerings, adding Solana and Chainlink for the US customers, not for the customers worldwide. The Telegram group is on Telegram, but you have to be subscribed to the YouTube tier. There's only one tier. It's called the Rare Hodler tier on a monthly basis, and then you will be. You'll connect with me or so on Twitter, and then I'll invite you to the group. If you want, it's up to you. But people are exchanging their ideas. There's a lot of like Vivi, Ecomi Vivi guys in there also. Yeah. From the times when this project was running hard, and still exciting to exchange these ideas. So yeah. Divinder Singh says, awesomeness. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. Okay, so by the way, a comment on yesterday's reverse repo printing, right? We have seen 400 billion or so. It's actually on the chart. It's only 296. Of course, this needs to be going down again to, I don't know, 0, right? Or to whatever, like lower levels. Every time it goes lower, then actually the money hits the market, right? So just because it's being filled up doesn't mean it's going into the market directly. Yeah. So that just as a comment here. DXY, by the way, falling, right? Usually this was considered something to be bullish for crypto, right? Look at this. We also said here, small pause, then fall. We exactly have this trend right now to the downside. I mean, you see it here. A big downtrend is usually bullish, not bearish for crypto, for risk on assets in general, and for assets in general, like stocks, especially tech stocks. We will see what happens when we are reaching these levels here, this major support for the DXY. And then we will see, but this is exactly what has been happening previously on the last Trump episode, right? And he said, but up here, dollar has to become weaker. It's weakened already, so it's becoming weaker. It's exactly what he said the last time that he was in office, and it also came true, right? So you see, the DXY goes down, you have a bull run, basically. So this is our first leg of the bull run, and then this is the last action. This is the last bull run, and this is the bull run before, right? So the DXY going maybe down hard could be something that plays into our cards here, okay? Divinder Singh says, if Rooster's prediction comes true, I'm buying him the biggest bucket of KFC chicken. I like that. Okay. Should I include this? We will remember this. So end of month, Rooster is revealing his where he got this from. We are going to monitor this April really closely. If we get from the 16th the biggest bull run, then remember his prediction also August it's already over, or maybe like. By the way, this would coincide directly with the with the cycle timing as always, which would be 2nd of September being the top. And then Rooster is going to stick around here for the for the big reveal. Okay, so let's do this together. This is really exciting, to be honest, right? So gold, as we said, also like Stu is also here, right? So Stu has the time of his life right now. But this huge discrepancy here, right? This huge discrepancy in the between gold and crypto, it's going to close either way. But you see it also here, right? It's going to close, especially here, like the correlation from this, basically since here, the correlation is just super close, right? I mean, it's insane. It's insane. So we're waiting just for the effect to kick in. Bitcoin dominance rising, as now expected before, and I don't want to be one of these guys where it's like everything's forgotten. Before we had anticipated that this would happen, right? Just as always, altcoin season, it did not. It did absolutely not. Like we were completely wrong here. I was completely wrong here. We had some sideways-ish action with another pump also here in this scenario. So maybe we are only at this place. Certainly we are right now at, we're at 62.7. We're going higher. Yesterday we saw it again, all altcoins in the red except maybe one or two, and then Bitcoin in the green and Bitcoin dominance going up. So obviously this means your altcoins getting wrecked, especially against Bitcoin. So since here, it has been better to be in Bitcoin than in altcoins collectively. There are some altcoins that are performing nicely, but overall, you're getting wrecked. And this is why I'm always promoting the greater 50% Bitcoin portfolio, and then having however scattered portfolio within the altcoins, less than 50% that can give you the big returns. And if it doesn't, then you still have your Bitcoin portfolio, right? So he likes KFC, that's good, right? The big people behind crypto know how psychology works, how people act. So what happens is they play with the normal person and take your money. And I will reveal the person at the end of April. Nice. Cool stuff. That is really great to know. So let's quickly look at the altcoins in general. I mean, if you think that, for example, VeChain is dead or I don't know what, right? I mean, take a good look at all altcoins. Yeah, there are some altcoins, new altcoins that are pumping random 6-7x. But overall, like the altcoins that are around EOS, minus 30%. Where's the VeChain, by the way? On the monthly, where's my VeChain? I don't see it. Does anyone see it? Is it even in the top 100? That's the question. It should be in the top 100 easily, right? It was usually a top 50 coin. Should be here somewhere. Let's see. VeChain. Yeah, it's 43. Where is it? I was not in the top 100. That's the problem. Okay. Yeah, there we go. It's here behind me. So look, VeChain is only minus 15%, whereas Jupiter minus 40, Injective minus 22, Fed 23, Theta 21, right? Polygon minus 23, and so on, right? IMX minus 20. So it's just there are some things like EOS and CurveDAO and Crow and so on that they're actually green on this month. And Ton, by the way, also we have some people here that are extremely bullish on Ton, so congratulations for that pick. Or on the year, like you have right? Is up, BGB is up, XRP is up, but the rest is like down 50-60%, as you see here. Everyone bullish on optimism, right? Here, you can rename it into pessimism, right? 77% down. So it's not a phenomenon of one coin, which is why I don't want to discuss random altcoins with you guys. And I want to have you look with me at the broader picture, at the bigger picture, and just basically see, okay, the bigger picture is what matters right now. And then we can drill down into the random altcoins once they are going up, once they're pumping, once it's time to look at them, once everyone is looking at them. Right now, basically everyone, if you're bullish still, then everything is a buy, right? Pango, Beam, I mean, you could just DCA across the board. And if there is an altcoin season, you will make big returns. If there's no, you will lose that money, right? I would say crypto is long term. Buy low, hold your money, and be patient. Always buy red, sell on green. If you think short term, you must be a good trader who has much experience. The most people are not. And I would add to this is good, but I would add to it once more. You buy an altcoin, right? The altcoin goes up a couple of 100%. Many people are inclined to buy more because they think that this is now the big thing. But instead, against this excitement and the greed, I think always a good method is you buy this altcoin, you are a couple of 100% up, just take out your initial investment. From that point, you can't lose anymore. Like backholding is so much easier if you are even, right? So there's always these phases where you buy this altcoin, a couple of months later, it does a couple of X's, you take out your initial investment. Doesn't matter, no matter what. Don't make the calculation what 100x would be on that. Take out your initial investment, and you already have new money to operate once dumps like this happen, right? So had you taken your initial investment on, for example, Metacade, during the last pump when it was up 10x, you would have the same amount now to buy, I don't know, Beam or Pengu, right? And you can just build up bags, and everything becomes a moon bag, right? So you can take, I don't know, $100 or whatever. You can buy this coin. It does a 2x. Take it, plus something, plus whatever you need for covering the tax cost and so on, and then you can do that again, right? And you can just play this game with the altcoins. Whereas on the other side, for example, for the other 50%, you have a constant savings plan into Bitcoin, right? That's at least my approach. That's how I like to operate. So for example, I might take some money and I don't know. For example, maybe I buy AKT, right? A cash network, right? I would do exactly that. So the moment that I get a nice return on Akash network, I take out the half, right? Or whatever, right? So I have 100% pump, I take half. I have a moonbag of AKT now. Cool. Good. Right? If it comes back, I can buy the same coin. If it comes back, I can buy the same coin again with that money, right? That's of course possible. But then I have more coins at least. By the way, I hold XRP, XLM, Kronos, Algorand, Cardano, Casper. Yeah, I mean, it's the big ones. So like these are no-brainer coins for a potential altcoin season, right? But the same concept, in my opinion, applies to them, to those again. Hey, Energy, what's going on? What's good? How is the building in the Viviverse going? How is everything? By the way, I saw, we have to talk about this quickly. Talking about, I have to go in a second, but quick look at Vivi Digital Collectibles, right? They're coming out with this bubblehead-ish like Blackpink's, the Blinks, right? Official cooperation with Blackpink, with YG Entertainment, from the segment of the Vivi Vibes. So this is cool, right? Good stuff. Liked. How does the drop calendar look? Two drop series for this Blackpink. Some comic drops going on. Also really cool. That is good. And what is really good, I've tested it a little bit. The app is already a little bit faster. The only thing is that the market is still pretty slow. But the main page and the collectibles page, they are already faster, which is good. Yeah, so overall, it looks like here. Did you know, this is good, right? Did you know Marvel's first ever exclusive digital collectible cover variants are on Vivi Official? This guy posts with 2,000 followers or so. We obviously know, and I have this one, right? I have this ultra rare here. Actually, I have to check the price, because if it's low, I might even get more, because this probably is something that's going more like long term or so, right? So did you know if you like first ever exclusive comic assets, give this fun blog a read, or just go straight to Vivi. I'm going to retweet this because I think this is good. These are the good things about Vivi, right? In general, like Vivi really has so much potential for a money expansion phase, to raise excitement. I mean, what they are doing, it's really good. They just have to get their shit together for the mobile app, right? Viviverse Mobile is also here now. So the faster, lighter, smoother. I wish that like they really have to put in the work and make the mobile app as fast and smooth as even possible. Like, this has to be a seamless experience. So many people will be attracted by this, in my opinion. Yeah, so these are my 2 cents on Ecomi and Vivi. We're going to always look at this as just this project is is in my heart, right? By the way, yeah, there's an event going on or coming up in Portugal, and I have to tell my rare hodlers a couple of things about this still. So make sure to smash up the like button right now, notifications on, subscribe if you haven't yet, and wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon. I see you very likely tomorrow also at Crypto Morning Coffee at around the same time, and yeah, see you there.